What an election. It was pretty crazy. And the outpouring since then has been pretty wild. You've got those who are in complete grief and mourning, and those who are in celebration, those who are thrust into chaos and confusion, and those who feel like they're on a rocket ship to a better land. How do we reconcile that? I don't think that we do, personally. There are a lot of people out there with a lot of answers, a lot of possibilities. Everything's going to be deconstructed, fingers pointed, blame cast, all of those things. But what does it mean if we're going to live in this Christ consciousness? How do we react to this? How do we live in this if we claim that we're going to be spiritual, that we're higher level people, that we are living on a higher plane? And I think it's hard. I think it's hard because on one side we've got this emotional makeup, and on this other side we've got this spiritual makeup, and we've got this physical makeup, and it's hard to navigate. And so I was just flipping through some passages, and one that came to mind, just this Christ consciousness, what he would say that we're supposed to live regardless of the vote that you cast. And this is crazy. And when I say we're supposed to live, it's because he lived that way, that this is the connection that he had with Spirit. And this is what he not only taught, but also walked out. So it says, but I say to you, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. I don't know. That seems super hard, right? So if I'm thinking about people on, let's say, the right, that I completely disagree with and have negative emotions toward, I'm supposed to, I think, to live in this consciousness, to live in this spirit, to pick out some people and say, how can I do good to them? How can I bless them? And how can I pray for them? Let's say on the other side, if we say the left, who is it over there that I feel like is an enemy? And usually the enemy is toward my belief system. It's toward my way of life, right? Who over there can I do good toward? Can I bless? Can I pray for? These are not natural elements for us in the physical, but in the spiritual. And whether you label that the quantum field or the spirit or what your alignment is on that, we almost all universally agree that we are supposed to be living in the presence of and acting in the spirit of love. And love is that core. So that's really this. When the Christ is bringing us into this consciousness, it's a consciousness of love. And what does love do? Love does good to enemies. Love blesses those who curse. Love pray for those who use us and abuse us. Now, I always feel like I've got to caveat stuff for some reason. And really the great thing about Christ consciousness is nothing's really caveat. It's supposed to be that we're doing well enough to be able to recognize what we need to do. So praying for those who abuse, it really means who spitefully use you, who use you for their benefits. We pray for them. It doesn't mean that we remain in the relationship. It doesn't mean that we put up with things. Because right after this, he's going to talk about turning the other cheek. And turning the other cheek is not about taking it. It's about social justice, and it's about bringing awareness to injustice. So if you look at the Christ Consciousness series, when I'm covering that section, it's pretty interesting. But at the core consciousness, the core spirit that we live in is love. And what's this love ask us to do? What does this love call us to do? What does this love propel us to do, I guess? I won't sound too much like a preacher because I don't feel that ounce at all. I'm feeling only what does this love, disconnected from a religious belief system, what does this love asks of us. It asks us to be active. It asks us to be blessings. It asks us to pray or to hold the best of intentions for other people. So right or left, love doesn't care. And love isn't measuring. Love is simply being. And hopefully we can be love in the middle of this chaos. I love you. Be blessed.